Hi.
Hello.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're making this quick. I'm actually on my lunch hour because we really wanted to get the review in for Kandi's new book.
Yes. So it's Kandi Steiner's On the Way to You.
5 stars, 5 ginormous stars.
Huge freaking stars. So we've already done our written reviews.
Mm-hmm.
But our written reviews, I don't think for us, because we're more vocal people.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much more. And, so we'll give you the quick gist, and then we'll let you know when the spoilers come. So, quick gist of the book is, if you love discovery, finding yourself, battling demons, check this book out. It's really great.
It's super, super contemporary romance.
Yeah.
Super contemporary, because it's very, something that young adults, I would think, new adults.
New adults. I wouldn't go young adults.
Yeah.
New adults.
Well, I mean, but even young adult, I think it's something that they're facing right now.
Because
but
it does touch on depression. And dealing with it from both sides.
Very serious. Mm-hmm. But I think I have a 19-year-old.
I think she should read it.
I think it's something that I think she would be able to read and I would feel comfortable with. There is some sex in it, so I don't know if I would want my 15-year-old to read it.
That's what I'm saying. Not young adults, but new adults.
If you strip some of that out, I would probably be okay with it even. Because I think it just tackles so many good things that I don't even know how I would have conveyed them to them.
Yeah. So that's the quick and dirty.
The quick thing.
So note, from now on, there's going to be spoilers. We're going to dig into it. So
yeah, we are.
If you don't want to hear anything else, go read it and then come back and finish this.
And just know she might dip into her food because she's starving.
I'm on my lunch hour. I'm starving. I just went and bought a salad, and so it's here.
So if I'm yapping, because I'm going to tell you, like, I this is one that she was like, you got to tell me where you're at in the book. Like, get in it. Like, tell me where you're at.
Like, what city are you at?
What city are you at? That kind of thing. Because it's like this road trip. I just have to tell you, we all have our own experiences with different people that have had experience with mental health.
And I think that's just true across the board for everybody.
Across the board for everybody. There were so many times, and I'm one of those people that if I get uncomfortable with something, like, I get, like, I want to skip a page or fast forward. But that's like when you're invested. Like, when I'm invested in a character and I don't want something to happen to them and I get so upset, I don't want to know, like, something bad is going to happen. I want to skip ahead because I'm like, oh, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Like, if you're watching, like, The Color Purple and like, something's, that horrible scene and she's got that knife up and I'm like, oh my God, I can't. I'm going to start crying. And it's like, you just know you're already anticipating that moment. Yeah. Where you're so invested in. There's this journal that he's writing in. He's super, super moody. And he
just started writing in the journal, like right before.
Right.
So let's set it up a little bit. Yeah. So road trip for him. He comes from Florida. Where was he coming from?
I believe. Or East Coasty.
And he stops at this diner and he had just started writing.
Let's say he's very, very wealthy family.
Yeah.
Well off because he's driving a very nice car. Because I ain't driving that kind of car.
And he runs into this girl who's young. She's trying to, very neglectful parents. They could give 2 shits whether she's alive or dead or there or not.
Abusive,
but at the same time, they never wanted the state to have her. They never wanted anybody else to have her.
Oh, because that's money in their pocket. They live in.
But she was the one that paid the bills. Mm-hmm. She had her job since, as soon as she could have a job. So it's one of those times when you meet somebody and you know they're going to change your life. So it wasn't love at first sight.
No, I don't think so. And really, she was scared because she's never been out of the county she lived in, the state line. She's never left home.
So she's encouraged to go, and they do.
Yes.
And again, he had just started writing in this journal because his grandmother had just passed.
Which she doesn't know. She knows nothing about this guy. She's met
total
her at a diner.
And he mentioned something about where he's going. She's like, oh, I always wanted to go there. And he says, come with me.
Because I'm going to college there in the fall. Possibly.
She
didn't know because she hasn't gotten an acceptance letter yet.
But he says, come with me. And she's like, cuckoo. Yeah. Like, it's your waitress.
Yeah, I'm your waitress, pretty much. Yeah, I'm your waitress. So that's kind of where the journey begins. And she was like, well, what? And her friend, who's an older lady, actually.
Like a mother figure.
Like a mother figure to her. Said,
encourages her.
This
is your sign. Go. Get out. Get out of here. Here's your opportunity.
Intuitive. So she's like, go for it. I mean, come on. I told you this day was going to be great. This was it. This is it.
So they go on this road trip. And they begin it.
It's cray.
And she notices the journal pretty early on in the trip.
Well, first of all, she knows that he's moody as hell. Like, he's moody. Like,
some days he doesn't talk to her at all.
Right. And I think she notices that at first, and she just, like, he's very silent treatment-ish.
Hot and
and
cold,
she doesn't
like
know.
extremely hot and cold.
And she's one of those people that she's, like, always got a smile on her face. She likes to talk.
Positive attitude.
Fill in the gap. She doesn't like that. So it's very weird for her to just go on this long journey and this fool ain't saying shit.
Yeah. At first he was, and then he wasn't.
Yeah.
So she notices his journal one day when he's, like, in the shower or something. And this is where Kat's like, no! And she has to put down the book. I get that way, too, with this book. But it's not intense in the way you would normally describe something as intense. It's intense in just, I need a break. I need a second to compose myself. I need to come back into this. And I would put it down. I would turn it off. I'd put it down. But it'd go, like, 30 seconds. Okay, what's happening next? Yeah. What happened after she read the journal?
Because I journal, and I would hate for someone to read my innermost thoughts. I mean, should I talk about this bitch all the time in my journal? If she does some shit about her,
I wouldn't care.
No, she wouldn't. She already knows how I feel. Actually, she already knows my innermost thoughts. Actually.
But anyway, so it's it's a private thing. Journals are very private.
Very private. So, but she wants, like, why
she wants to know.
Digging in, and she slowly kind of peels away the layers of him,
and she's understanding his depression and his battle with it his entire life, and how his grandmother had it too, and she's the only one that understood him. And so, as she's taking this journey with him, she's understanding him more. And
it's just. And they start to learn things about each other and how
you see them falling.
How this relationship evolves. And you see him trying to kind of, then he opens up. Doesn't know that she's reading this journal. Doesn't know that she's not, I don't think it's scheming, but she's just trying to be there for him and on his level, not change him or change herself, but so that they can be able to coexist, because she's like, I like him.
Yeah.
Like, I dig him, and I don't want him to feel like this. What can I do to make him know that he's not alone? And
she kind of does everything right. You just wish that she would have trusted him more to give what he wanted to give at his own pace.
Who knows if he would have done it? But that's the thing. It's neither here nor there. It happened. Mm-hmm. So eventually it all comes out that it happens. But along the way, they meet all these wonderful people, these journeys. It's just really, really cool book. First of all, it's just a really cool book in general. It's just very neat. The people they meet, the people they come across, the adventures they have, him being super jealous, uber jealous, her dealing with.
But then he didn't want. He was super jealous, but he was like, you're better than me. Not you're better than me, but you deserve better than what I'm going to give you because I'm so moody. Yeah, so the second somebody else showed interest in her, but he was all over other girls. Don't think he wasn't.
Well, only because it was like a distraction. But even then, he still wasn't into them.
No.
Like, he wasn't.
And I don't think he slept with any of them.
No, he didn't. Not while they were together.
But this is where, for me and my experience with depression and stuff, I know somebody who's been married a long time. Her husband battles with, I don't think he's been diagnosed with anything, but she feels it's like bipolar or depression, and he takes no meds, does nothing. I said they've been married over 20 years, and it's not that she's unhappy. Well, maybe she's a little unhappy, but it's hard. It's really, really hard. And so at this point in the book, I'm like, okay, he's great, but go find somebody else to love, because I don't want you to, I know the long-term struggle of being with somebody with depression.
Let me just read a quote in regards to, they had met up with somebody, and she had confessed about the journal. And this is the conversation she had with one of the people. She said, "It's not that I don't trust him," I admitted, glancing around to make sure he wasn't around. I couldn't tell her that I barely knew him. That I knew more than I should, because I'd snooped already, and now I couldn't stop. His mind is complicated. Sometimes I read just to know him more. I know it seems impossible, but you have to be patient, Cooper. I felt like I was getting a scolding from a mother I never had, and I had dropped my head. There may be things he hasn't told you yet. Hell, there may be things he will never tell you, but you don't get to decide which thoughts are which, or when you get to learn more about him, or when that trust goes deeper than where it is already. You can get to be there for the ride, holding on, showing him that you're not going anywhere, and every now and then you'll get to see inside him, really see inside him, and you'll cherish it, and your love will grow, and you'll realize why you waited. So that was one of the things I was like, see, exactly.
So stop reading
the damn journal. So, but she fucking keeps doing it. I think after that point, though, she had stopped a little bit. She kind of pulled back because it made her feel guilty.
And she has to go back and read some more. Again, at this point, I kept hoping, like, oh, maybe that guy she met at the bar is going to be the one, and this is just going to be the best life experience, and then she's going to meet somebody else. Yeah. But it turns out great. Kandi did the most awesome job. He's such a strong person, strong enough to know when he needs help. And the love from her helps him to go get that help. In the end, I'm like, okay, yeah, they need to be together because she's his strength.
Yeah.
He says, I'm not always going to have good days. I'm going to have bad days, and I need you to give me my space to have my bad days and to be strong enough to take it. And that's what I was saying about knowing somebody who's has a husband that has bad days and how hard it is, 20, 30 years down the line to still be dealing with bad days like that. I mean, we're not talking about just, PMS and male PMS and just being moody. I mean, depression is depression. Yeah. It's hard.
Well, and as Teresa knows, and I've talked to a few people that are in the book community. I have dealt with my own mental health issues, and I have depression and anxiety, and I went a whole year where I never even left my house. And some people didn't even know. They just thought, I had said I was sick and I was having issues. She's a big ol' flake. And I always would just cancel on things. No one really knew. I just wasn't leaving my house. Like, I drove my kids to school and picked them up. And that was it. That's all I did. Never left my house. And
so to get your bootstraps and pick them up and to say, like, I have to do this. Yeah.
And it literally finally came to a point where I finally, like, got myself into therapy, realized I couldn't get my kid, keep being that person anymore.
And that's what he does through her love.
Exactly.
He's like, I have to, the reason. And that's what she is. She's the reason for him.
She just, because he never had that. He didn't have parents who felt that way about him.
The support from his parents. He had the
grandmother who did that. And that's why he went on this journey, because he thought his grandmother was it for him. Yeah. And now she's gone.
Because his parents' support just wasn't what he needed. They didn't know how to handle him. Yeah, they didn't get him whatsoever.
Because his grandmother had the same issues he had.
So she understood what it was like, and she knew what he was facing. They were just like, buck up. Get out of it, And sometimes you can't. It just doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
You have another quote?
I do. This one's a good one, I think. We've only spent weeks together, but it feels like a lifetime to me. It feels like every moment before you pulled into that dining parking lot was practice. I practiced breathing. I practiced laughing. Practiced existing in every moment on the way to you, so that when you found me, I know how to live. I was numb to my own words, to my own emotions as I spoke. I hope I made sense. I hope I was reaching him. I hoped he was listening. It was all I needed him to do. And that's near the end, just so you know.
So there's a big, moment where he realizes she's read his journal, and it just all kind of falls apart.
Because the grand end of things, he really was on this journey to decide if he was going to not live the rest of his life in this kind of pain that he's been in. And if this world was for him, because he was sick of waking up every day and not having the motivation or feeling this kind of numbness, because really it wasn't really pain, it's just numb. He had nothing to give, nothing to be given to him. He just was nothing. Yeah. He had nothing in him. And he just felt like it wasn't worth living anymore. And that literally was, if he couldn't find his answers on this road trip and on this journey, he was done.
Yeah. So, amazing book, amazing story, a great insight, I said, into depression, but not just for the person that's depressed, but for the person that has to deal with it too, as the spouse, as the partner, as the pillar.
Well, not even just that, but even as us friends.
Because that's how they started out. Well, and just even the other people they met along the way. Yeah, because the people she met without him even being around because he had a bad day, that lifted her up.
Yeah, because mental health and mental illness gets such a horrible, horrible rap, and people don't want to come out and don't want to say it. Yeah,
and everybody's different. Everybody, you can't just say, "Oh, depression looks like this," because it doesn't look the same in anybody.
I mean, look at him. He's this gorgeous, rich
successful,
guy.
smart.
I mean,
that's why his parents are like, you have everything. Why are you sad?
Why are you sad? Why can't you get out of bed?
Yeah.
I mean, you went to an amazing Ivy League school. What's your problem?
Yeah, you have a place in this great company.
Yeah.
You have everything going for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, snap out of it. And it's just, as he was getting older, it wasn't getting better.
And that's kind of her thing, too. She was like, dude,
we didn't even touch on the fact that she's
had her own freaking issues.
She only has one leg.
Yeah. And parents who freaking beat the shit out of each other and abused her and were at it.
They're just so neglectful. And
freaking she still had to play for their nasty old trailer park.
But she was, again, always happy, always sunny, positive. So
it just, you see how two different people kind of raised in completely different situations went about life. Mm-hmm. But it's not something he could have changed on his own. So, it was an amazing story. It's
a great journey.
Yeah. And
it truly is a journey.
Super uncomfortable for people to talk about.
Yeah.
But it was great that people are able to talk about it. And literally watching over the last week and a half that this book has been out and the response that it's been getting and the people talking about it, that it's like this, that people are actually, it's just become an open dialogue. And that's what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If people aren't talking about it, then they're not talking
they're not understanding.
To the people. Yeah, and they're not talking to the people that need the help, that that are needing all the assistance. Because guess what? There are a lot more Emerys out there. And that's the name of the male character.
And Cooper's the girl.
Yeah, there's a lot more male, Emerys out there who
don't want to get diagnosed, don't want to do anything, because when they're happy, they're fine, and when they're sad, they just want to be left alone.
Well, and they don't have, Cooper's out there. They don't have people along this journey
to help them,
to save them at the end of their long journey, and
to give them a reason to.
Yep, they're going to decide that suicide is the answer.
So Kandi, 5 stars. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Great book. I love everything of Kandi's. I really do. She's a great author. Her Palm South University series is my crack. It is like my Real Housewives of books. So I love whatever you do, but please work on that.
She already said that she's already working on number 4. Leave her alone. She told you that already.
I don't need just 4. Like, I need... It is... Kandi stuff is my crap.
She said this one's moving up far in the rankings. You should be working on number 4 now. That's what you need to work on.
And 5 and however many seasons we're going for Palm South University. If you guys haven't started that, watch out. You're going to get hooked.
These damn kids is going to be at that school until they're like in their 40s.
I don't care. Work on your masters, get some MBAs.
It's going to be like 90210. These kids
That's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. It is 90210 for books.
40-year-olds.
For 2017,
college students.
Yeah, 90210 college students. So that's my little tack on the end. Anything involving Kandi, I'm pushing Palm South University because it is just... It's
really good, and it's on
Twitters my heart.
It's on Kindle Unlimited, people.
Yeah. All right. Saying. So thank you.
Thanks,
sorry
everybody.
This went long, but we really loved it. We had a lot to say.
Good. And that's why we wanted to do it this way, because it literally... And I tried to post like this long ass post on Amazon about my review, and those assholes wouldn't let me do it, so I like shorten it and ruin my shit.
So, subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. We'll be doing more.
We'll be doing more, and we'll also put our website on here. And we're adding every one of our reviews. They're going to get adding to our website, cattyjane.com, www.cattyjane.com, CATTYJANE.com.
All right, bye. See you next time.
Thanks. Look, we have to keep smiling so we don't look like dipshits.